Hello fellas, it's Jax time. So to give a quick introduction to this character, this is a rushdown character. With Jax, you always want to be close here. He struggles full screen because he has a pretty slow projectile, like even if you amp it, look at how slow this is. So he struggles full screen, he struggles in the neutral, I would say. Like this is not too bad for 2. I mean, I guess only for 2 is the long ranging move, which can cover distance, especially when you complete it, right? Which reminds me a little bit of Liu Kang's 1, 2, 3. It takes time, but it will reach someone who's like not in front of you. But again, you're prone to whiffing, so with Jax, I would just consider being here. That's where you ideally want to be. If you're stuck here and someone's running away, maybe you want to YOLO a 4, 2, 1. But yeah, stay up close here. He's a character that has a really strong strike throw game because he has a 9 frame mid, which is incredible. This one is 12 frame, but like I said, it can reach a little bit far, so when you're a little bit farther away, maybe you want to go with 4-2, and then when you're up close is when you go with 4-3. So 9 frame mid, if someone mashes on you, Jax is a good solution to that. When they poke, you want to take back your turn with the 4-3. Essentially, I think Jax is also a very noob-friendly character because you don't need to use all of the tools in his arsenal to win with him. The only thing you really need to do is know how to stagger 4-2 and 4-3. If you mix this with pokes, and then from time to time you complete it, and you do this here 4-3 into 4-3-3 like this, and then sometimes just 4-3-3 into 4-3-3, or just like 4-3, grab, 4-3-3, grab, 4-3, down 1, 4-3-3, down 1, and then sometimes you complete it. Here you go. You've just learned how to play Jax in 10 seconds. Because his staggers are extremely strong. They're unreactable. You can't react to the difference between this and this. It's just too fast. Like, look at how fast this is. Plus, there's a bit of a pause between the transition. Right? You know how this has no pause, really? Well, this has a pause. And that's what makes staggers difficult, which by the way, this is +1. The difference between this and this is hard because there's a pause right here, there's a pause right here. So with Jax, you're gonna have to guess as the opponent when Jax staggers, and then when your opponent starts to hesitate because he's scared of the 1+3, the ender, then that's when you can simply grab. In terms of risk rewards, if someone guesses wrong, and you clip them, that's still a significant amount of damage for you. And you can get a crushing blow with your heated arm, so that's why I recommend adding the ability to like have additional hits off of your 1+3, this one here. So let's say the other Jax is there. Okay, let's go block, 110, okay. And then your arms are heated. And then the damage is more and more and more, and eventually there's a crushing blow. So let's see how much the crushing blow is again. Yeah, 269, that's still a lot of damage. Not as much as I thought it was going to be. That's just if he clips you on the last hit. 316, yeah, that starts to hurt. And if they guess right and they block, you just lose your turn, -7, it's really not that bad. So, yeah, you don't lose much and you gain a lot. Like, if they guess right and then they punish you while you stagger, okay. And that's the only downside to the stagger, getting your stagger interrupted by a read. Not a read or a guess, which is the same for every character. Every character, when they stagger, if someone makes the right read or make the right guess, you can get full combo punish. But people rarely interrupt staggers. Again, because of the follow-up, and the follow-up for Jax is so goddamn strong. It's not like a simple hit like this here. If I was playing against a Jax, I would always recommend that you interrupt the 1-2. Like after this move, you interrupt immediately. Even though this is going to clip you, it doesn't really matter because the damage is not high. 70 damage. So always try to interrupt that. So this is one of my favorite variations for him. I have obviously the combo ender to make them scared of interrupting their stagger. Because if a Jax does not have this, I will forever try to interrupt that thing because the damage is minimal. So as soon as he throws the leg, I'm going for it. It doesn't matter, I don't care. As soon as I see 4-2, I'm going for it. I don't care. And that's how you have to think and play an MK. Like when you see these pros making these amazing reaction thing, it's not even a reaction. It's a read. It's either a read or a guess. And the way I think that they think about it, because that's how I see them play, is they just calculate the risk reward ratio. If Jax did not have the comboing part of this, if he just has the one where it touches you and knocks you down, I don't know how much damage it is. It has to be something like 50. But, so if he gets you, it's 50. If you get them, it's 300 damage. So, risk-reward ratio again. That's all MK is about. Like Rewind told me, most of this game is about guessing. So, if you're gonna have to guess, might as well take the bet when you can get more damage and they can get less. The risk is still high, but the punishment for the risk is not that high. Okay. And your reward is potentially very high. Alright, you get it. So, okay, this is my variation here. Ripped, Burning Hammer, and then with Burning Hammer, you also get an anti-air, which is cool. So, Ripped, if you don't know, that's just a combo. Because if you hit confirm, of course, you can just end it like this, that's fine. But, 157 on hit confirm is not high. You could get something like this, right? And then you launch them, you get 64, sorry, at least when you launched, and then you continue your combo. A lot of people, you know, there are different ways to combo. I don't know the optimals for jacks because I'm not someone who likes playing jacks a lot, but some people do like down 1 2 down 1 2 and to grab, or something else like 1 2 and 2 down 1 2 and to grab. Let me try them actually. Here we go. So that's one of them, 303 damage. So that's one of the combos. I think it's actually hard. I really don't like that. So here's the one that I use. It's easier. Let's look at the damage difference. Okay, about 20 less damage. $40 less damage, much less damaging. That's another one. I don't really like it though because it seems easy to drop. I usually like the standing 4 into Ender, so let's do that again, but with Amp. $316. So obviously the more damaging is the double to 1, but I would not recommend you do that unless you're Jax main and you practice it a lot because it's easy to drop. It's much preferable to have a BnB that does 20 less damage and consistently get it, then drop it and then lose like a potential of like, I don't know, 80 damage. So I'm really a BnB type person. That's what I like doing. Keep it simple, stupid. That's my philosophy in this game and in life. So yeah, with your combos, use standing 4 and then Ender, whatever that Ender happens to be for you. The one I use, like you saw, is back 4 too. Okay, so Rip to hit confirm and get more damage with, by the way, Ripped. You can even do this. Whoops, let's put it on block. Stance hold, for example. So let's say like he's so beginner friendly that you could even just not even hit confirm it, just do that. Is there a gap? Let's see if there's a gap. There's a gap, just be careful. But again, there's a gap here as well. So okay, let's talk about gaps real quick. So gaps, yeah, that is a weakness of Jax, but the problem is he can stagger it. So if you are thinking about flawless blocking, he's gonna grab you right after. Or you know, you think of flawless blocking, you'd go block, and then he staggers, so he screws up your flawless block. So I don't think his gaps are a problem, honestly. Okay, so that's that about gaps. So like I was saying about Ripped, what you can do, if you're a beginner, just enter it all. Enter it all immediately, don't even hit confirm it, and when you see that it touches, then you amp. So again, very beginner friendly. I recommend using this character if you're just starting. Then you amp when you hit confirm. And what I mean by that is, so for example, I'm gonna put the opponent on random combo. Alright, I put that, I don't amp. You could amp, like technically, if you're really a big beginner, you could always just do that at amp. So I keep doing this. Okay, he keeps blocking, so nothing happens. I just input it all. And eventually he's gonna stop blocking. Random combo, and it's not even a 50%. Like, how are the odds that this guy is just gonna keep blocking a random combo? Okay, here we go, and then you amp, bang. On hit. I can't believe NRS stopped supporting this game when the random combo of the AI is definitely not 50-50. Ripped. Okay, Burning Hammer. Back for 4. That's the thing here. Why would you use that? Because you can OS your jump kicks. So that means that you jump kick and you input the button after the jump kick and it will come out on hit but not on block. Here you go, it came out. So it's not that I have amazing fast reaction, and when I see that it hits, I do it right before the guy hits the ground like this, right? I don't do that. I just input it all, no matter what, regardless of if it's on block or on hit. So I'm gonna put him on block. I put it all, nothing came out, you see? nothing came out. And then if I random combo it, it comes out. And by the way, what you want to do, you don't want to react and then, oh yeah, it touches. No, I have to amp. No, you always just mash the right bumper button, the R1 button. You mash the amp, and if it's on hit, it will do it. See, it's on block, nothing happens. So that's an OS. You always want to jump kick into ripped, not ripped, burning hammer into amplify. Okay, so we have a good anti-air as well. So we're gonna get this guy to jump on me. Actually, let's do it with a jump hit, not that one. So the other Jax, no, he's a jumper. He does that. You can anti-air with Jax. We're just standing one, which is amazing, or even down one. Maybe a little more risky with Jax. How about down three? Nah. Well, down three is just gonna escape it. Sometimes you can use anti-airs to escape. Okay, so anyways, right, you could do that and to anti-air, or you can simply jump into left bumper or L1. Right, again, that's on massive read or guess, because you're not going to react to this. It's just too fast reactions, or more like standing one reactions, or even like down two reactions. But if you make the guess and you jump, what's really nice about this anti-air is that, look at this range. You see how it, like, the other character like teleport. You saw that? The other character like teleports to Jax. It's amazing. Look at how hard we're going. And again, with this one, you always want to amp it. So you mash it no matter what. Because if I miss, like I'm missing now, I mash R1 right trigger and nothing happens, right? So you always want to keep mashing it. Here we go. Look at how cool it looks. What if we anti-air and then yeah, it combos. So if you jump to anti-air and you grab and you amp, this is what's gonna happen. Even if I jump kick on anti-air, depends on the angle though, I can still grab him. That's a lot of damage for an air-to-air. Okay, so real cool, real cool. So not anti-air and air-to-air, I should have said. So that's that variation for that. Back two is a crushing blow, right? So we can just click it, boop, it's a bop on the head. Whoops, not that. Boop, a bop on the head, minus 17. You charge it a little bit, bop on the head, minus 10. Right? You charge it a lot, maximum charge, 0. You charge it like somewhat, almost fully, it's minus 5 I saw. Come on, let's do it again. Minus 5, but charge it fully, 0. Cool. Is there a gap? There has to be a gap. Gap. Yeah, of course there's a gap. It's a one hit move. Okay. So you want that crushing blow. You know what? You know what's interesting? I think pre-patch at some point you could jump to and to completely hold back to, and it would crushing blow guaranteed. It was like a combo crushing blow. And it got patched somewhere somehow, or maybe because I was sure this used to work. Am I just doing it wrong? No? Okay, interesting. It doesn't work anymore. Unfortunate. Unless it never did and I was just not doing the right thing in practice. But anyways. Yeah, so if you want to get this one here, you'd be surprised how often this catches people. Especially at lower levels, but big damage. 140, but it launches, so you can go in for the kill. Some sweet damage, sweet damage. Sweet damage, not that high though. Okay. Alright, so that's that crushing blow. What else? He has a throw crushing blow if he's all heated up. So how the heat works, let me explain. So every hit he gets 10% heated up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You see how the hands sparkled? Look carefully, Key. 1, 2. Look at the hands. 3, 4, 5. You see how they sparkled? That indicates 50%. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You saw how they sparkled? That means he's at 100% maximum sparkling power. And when he's at maximum sparkling power, that's when you can get the throw crushing blow. Not back throw, please. Forward throw. And it didn't work because they had time to unsparkle. I see some sparkling. Forward drop. 130 damage for a crushing blow, and then my arms unsparkle. But let's look at the indication that the arm is not fully charged anymore. So let's look at it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then look at my arms. It didn't work. Why? You saw, look. Okay, it's not gonna work again. Why? My arms look fully heated. Keep looking. Okay, you didn't see it this time, but when there's like smoke is when I think is when it indicates that you're no longer 100%. Look at the smoke. So what we'll do, we'll get to 100% and then I'll count until some smoke. And I didn't count because I was busy explaining it. So it takes about 5 seconds before you're out, before the smoke comes out. So I'm going to test it. So what I'm going to do, my hypothesis is that when you see the smoke is when your arms start to get below 100%. So what I'll do is I'll count until 3 before the smoke comes. I'll still grab, and I'm hypothesizing that my crushing blow will still come out because I'll still be at 100%. Let's see. Yep. So, and another test here. I'm going to get to 100%. I'll wait until the wind. I'll touch. I'll get back to 100%. Let's see. Yep. You know how I know? I sparkle. See how I keep sparkling? It means I keep getting back to 100. Here you go, we got it confirmed. How fast does it go down though? Is there any indication so we know it's 5 seconds? Is it 5 seconds each time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I hit once and twice, no. Oh yeah, it goes down real quickly after that. So you have 5 seconds to keep fully heated up and then it goes down like really quickly. See how fast it goes down? It seems like it goes down within about, looks about, okay, let's actually count. Let's say you don't hit anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So at 8, I started getting wind. Getting smoke, I mean. Okay. I think that you know, when we waited 8 seconds and then we saw some the second smoke, it means that it fell under 50%, because if I charge it once, this is 50. I have 5 seconds and then it's gonna go into, here you go, it's gonna go into slowly decreasing. Looks like it takes about another 5 seconds until I'm fully decreased. So it looks like I'm estimating that you're decreased by 10% every 1 second if you don't touch. And then you increase 10% every hit. So yeah, that's how it works, guys. And when you charge up, you charge by 50%. It costs 1 bar. And when you just do this once, it increases by 20%. Here, we're going to test it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Here you go, 20%. I forgot to mention this, but there's a damage buff as well, obviously. And as soon as you reach the threshold of 50% heated up, so when your arms sparkle for the first time, you get a 5% damage buff. And when your arms are fully heated up, you get a 10% damage buff. Thank you very much. All right, let's look at his face grabber. All right, fellas. Throat grabber. What is it called again? Gotcha grab. Pound town. Ooh, I like that name. Gutbuster. Ooh, I like that name. Lay down. Ooh, get on my face. Okay, maybe not as sexy. Get on my face would be sexy. Stiff armed. Why do I have a dirty mind like this? Thumper. Okay, all these words are dirty. What else do we have? Heat missile. Okay, we have to look at this. Heating up. We did. Ripped. Burning hammer. Ground pound. Okay, we'll look at all of these normals. Not normals, but special moves. Gotcha grab. Okay, so is there a crushing blow? No crushing blow. That's just an ender, right? So for example, instead of ending like this, which by the way, Jax doesn't combo, can't launch after back 1-2. He doesn't have enough hit advantage. Not sure if he does with... yeah, so Jax cannot launch after back 1-2. He has like the Devora problem, right? If I go try to do rip, the AI is on auto, he blocks. Even if I use another variation with another ability, like if I use... Is this on auto? No. If I use... what's it called? Duck and weave. You know, duck and weave can launch, right? So if you end it normally, it's fine. If you try to launch, 3 blocks. So, but what you can do is you can use the gotcha grab to end. Instead of doing 1-2-1, which is 101 damage, you can do 1-2 grab. Hit, 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 hit. 131 damage. Not amazing, but not bad. So yeah, this is just, the gotcha grab is an ender. It's an ender, especially good after you juggle in some instances. Like, it depends on what you like to do, right? You could just grab like this, instead of ending with, like, this is 260. 264 compared to 268, so you get a little bit more damage. So it's up to you how you want to end it. I prefer this one. Just like, technically ending with the gotcha grab is better because he's closer. Jax wants to be close. I've just been used to doing this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should go back to try to end with this one. It's just with the BnB I use, I prefer to use the other one, right? Because you guys know the BnB that I use is just forward 4 into this, where you can't gotcha grab, I don't think. So let's try it. Yeah, you can't. So it depends on the combo route you use and your preferences. But yeah, it's an ender, and the applications you can bring closer to the corner with forward 2, which, by the way, so you have time to throw in. Okay, if you mash, it's 5 hits, and then he's gonna throw out the final hit, and then the final hit, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. So let's look at the damage. So I'm gonna do all of them, 1, 2, and then he punches 60 damage. Okay, then I'm sending 4. And then I'm gonna use 4, he just throws. Okay, that's 20 damage only. I'm using 3, he throws around, 80 damage. And then if I just mash 1, 91 damage. So this one is the most damaging thing. 91 damage. 91. 60. 100. So the most damaging pair that you can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3. So you just mash 1 4 times and 2, 3. But he switches sides, so careful you don't do that. So like in the corner, the throwing aspect is really important, right? So like you end 1, 2, 3, 4, you throw. Why would you want to do that? Because it's a restand. What is the hit advantage? Why do I not have hit advantage? 4 hit advantage. Why when I comboed it didn't show? Finish game. Finished game. What if I just grab? My god, this game sucks. Alright, so let's go with... Let's try to test it the old school way. Yeah, this 4 frames. So you get 4 frames. What does this mean? Well, look at how close we are. I'm throwing you, bang. I'm right up in your face. This means you're going to have to guess. 4 frames of hit advantage. I have a 9 frame mid. This is gonna hurt. Right? 9 minus 4. 5 frame. This is gonna hit on the 5th frame. Isn't that nuts? So if I do this, I throw him. If I'm frame perfect, this hit on the 5th frame. Nothing can beat it at all. It is guaranteed. This is called a frame trap. You're completely frame trap. You're gonna have to face some pressure. So I'm grabbing you, throwing you. I'm right in your face. Bang. I grab. You didn't even see it coming. You know what? You get up. I can't grab you again, and then I get down to it. So that's the application. When you're here, you really want to consider ending with the wall throw. Wall throw. I get some sweet damage. My arms are heated up. You have to face pressure between a grab, potentially a command grab if I have it, or a 9 frame mid. You are not lucky right now. And my grab, you know, it can be a 50-50. I can throw you backwards. There's a lot of guessing. And if I command grab you, you can't tech, so you're going to have to duck. Are you going to duck this? I might do this. Not this, this. It's hit confirmable. You're going to get launched again. Back for a full combo. It's going to hurt. Okay, so that's that application. Stiff arm, we looked at it, but let's look at it again. Okay, let's look at it from here, for example. So let's look at the application. Triggers a crushing blow if only the second hit of the attack is a counter or punish. Interesting. Unlikely, but interesting. So, this means that this would get a crushing blow. Let's look at what the crushing blow is. I'm gonna put easy crushing blow on. Imagine that, I don't know, that he got punished. Which is unlikely because if he throws a projectile, I'm gonna get interrupted. He would have to get up and like try to roll. Like actually, let's Let's see. So let's remove the easy crushing blow. Yeah, so like a setup to this, if they roll backwards, which is unlikely. Something like this, that's a little bit more realistic. A little bit, not really. So what could happen, like practically, to get that crushing blow? You could interrupt someone trying to get a projectile out. So let's say we're here, I know he's gonna zone, okay? So I make the read that this is exactly what's gonna happen. So what I do is I do this. I interrupt before it happens, and now since he's in the motion of his projectile, I get a crushing blow because I'm countering or punishing him. Alright, so that's the crushing blow. Keep in mind, the first hit cannot touch, right? It's only the second hit. You see how there are 2 hits in there? Just a reminder, 1, 2. They're both mids. It's unsafe. Regardless of if the first or second one touches first, it doesn't matter. So the ender is always minus 16, except if you amp. If I'm going to amp, let me explain how this works, the amp. So, okay, if he stands hold, it's a real grab. It's a command grab. It's a high command grab. If the second hit grabs, he grabs. If the first hit hits, he whiffs. Which, by the way, you see how he grabs me? Only if the second hit touches me first and he amps. If the first hit touches me first, he whiffs his command grab. But he's safe. I'm gonna try to punish him. I can't, there's no punish, see? No punish. We have no frame data. I heard that it was 7 frames, minus 7. But I can't tell. Anyways, you just want to duck it. But if you duck and the first hit touches you, he still ends up grabbing you. So, like, close range using this, you're pretty safe as the other Jax player that throws it out there, because either you're gonna whiff and be unpunished, or he ducks and then you hit him. It's like when you're here that it starts to get dangerous, right? Because you can just do that. What if I block? Yeah, if I block and grab. But then the mind game is, if I'm the other Jax that was throwing out there, I just don't amp it. So, like, let's say you're ducking, you're waiting for me, right? You're waiting for me to do this, and to down 2 me, I'm just not gonna amp it, boom, becomes a mid. So there's a lot of, it's a bit complicated, there's a lot of mind games going on here. But that's the application of the amplify. Yeah, so I can confirm that amplifying it is actually minus 7, even though we don't see any frame data. And we'll do the jump test. It's not gonna tell me exactly, but yeah, it looks like minus 7. So, okay, let's talk about a little bit more applications to this move. Let's go deep. Real deep. So you know that 4-2-1 has a flawless block gap, right? Flawless block, 4-2-3 flawless block. But you could interrupt someone trying to flawless block. There's no chance that you'll be punished here. Like, meaning like you can throw it out there and be safe if you amp it. Unless they make, like, they can't even make the read, because if they crouch, they're gonna get hit by the mid. How much damage? 193. Right? If they crouch... Oh no, they can make the read. Can they? No, that's not a punish. Because the first one hits you. Looks like you could, but you can't. So that's an application here. You can do that as well on pokes, to counter pokes. Counter pokes. Like, I'm gonna put this guy on down 1 as a counter. A reversal. So he does this. Right? And if I do... There you go. You can amplify it, again, to keep it safe. Even if they make the read and they don't do anything, it's not going to get punished, because if the mid touches first, there's no punish. Keep remembering that. Mid touches first, if you amp it, there's no punish. The only punish, to remind you, is if you're from this distance, the mid doesn't touch first, and you amp. And they crouch, neutral crouch. I know it's complicated. Alright, so that's that. So guys, let's look at a couple more. We'll look at thumper, even though it's goddamn crappy. Thumper, up thumper. I mean, we don't really need to look at this. This is just a projectile. You can do it normally and do it high if people are like, you have a jumper that likes jumping. And if you amp, it's slow. You can throw it high after as well. A move that I think is actually much more interesting is a heat missile, which you are able to spend your arm heat with that move. You get a crushing blow and a combo of 6 hits or more. That's not that many, so, and the damage is significant. I think it's actually one of the fastest projectiles in the game, if not the fastest. Like, look at how fast this is. Oh my god. So it's 11 frames to start up and it travels extremely fast. Like, it looks like it travels almost as fast as Joker's gunshot. Maybe the same or something. But, so you can... Okay, so let me explain how this thing works. So, you can start spending it with 20% heat. Remember, this is 10%. If I can hit 10%, I'm gonna try to do it. Doesn't come out. 20%. Come on, do it. It comes out. And then it just spent completely. So, let's count. Okay, let's go to 100, let's say. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And that's it. So, it takes 20. So, that's 20, 40. So 1, 2, and we're done. Alright, so that's how much it costs. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. What's the chip damage on that? Let's look at some chip. Boom. Not bad. Significant chip. Well, I'm not sure I'd call it significant, but let's look at something else. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, so let's look at the crushing blow. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. 6 hits or more, so we just have to launch. There you go. Just that works. 378. Like, obviously you want to combo into it. Easy crushing blow was off. But that was 6 hits, right? Isn't that incredible? It's super easy, 427. Look at how far it reaches because it's so fast. You can do that as well. That's a BnB. Just 1 and 2 heat missile. What if we do 1, 2? Yeah, that works too. That's great. How about 2, 1? That's super easy. I didn't mean 2, 1. I meant down 1, 2. All really nice applications with some sweet damage. That's another BnB. Check this out. 343 damage! Bruh. I only did Standing Forward and 2 Burning Hammer. Amp. Crazy, isn't it? What if we don't amp? 300 damage. It's so easy. Please do that. Another application from his specials is Ground Pound. It's a low. Is it blockable? Yes, it is. And one of his abilities, he can make it unblockable, but it costs a slot. But yeah, pretty cool. Full screen low. Like, this is real nice. Just to let you guys know, though, when you do the 433 and it's safe, the launcher's safe, it's safe on block, but there's a huge gap in there. So, for example, see, I can interrupt it at full combo punish it. So just be very careful with that, okay? And just looking at a few more of his normals, we have the forward 4. We know I mentioned that using forward 2 in the neutral might cover some distance, a surprising amount of distance. Forward 4 is probably his longest ranging move, which is pretty... It's still not the best, but it's not bad for a normal, right? It's a mid. It's +7 or +6, depending on the range. Right now it's giving me +6, but earlier it was giving me +7, so I guess +6. You can end with 2, which is a high, forward 4, 2. Don't do that, because when you do this on block, of course, if they block high, you're +9. So you're guaranteed, wow, this is incredible, +9, and your startup is 9s. But if you duck it, if you stance hold it, it whiffs. So this means that when you do use forward 4, just use forward 4. And since it's +1, you can get a jab in that'll land on the 6th frame. So I would say only use forward 4 to cover distance, or something along those lines. In terms of his other moves, we have forward 2, 2, and 2, 1 +3. It's 11 frames, it's slow for a high, right? There's no real reason to use this when you have a 9 frame mid. And a 12 frame mid that covers some distance compared to 11 frame. Doesn't make sense, right? If you want to use your fastest punish, it's standing 1 8 frames. But just like with forward 2, 1 plus 3, when you equipped the special enders here, you have standing 2, 2, 1 plus 3. Is there a gap? Yep. You have standing 2, 2, down 4. It's unsafe and it's 20, but like you're probably going to get away with this more often than not, simply because it's nice and rangy. It depends against who, right? So if someone doesn't punish it properly, I'm not sure if I try to punch it with standing 1, it's not going to work. Unless you take a... maybe, if you're fast. But yeah, you'd have to use a long range move. See? Okay, or you just have to dash in quickly. So it's punishable, but sometimes you're going to get away with it just because of the reach. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't use it. You don't need to mix up with Jax. His staggers are enough of a mix, and it is a mix because it's a mix between staggering and not staggering because it's a guess. Anything that is a guess is a mix, guys. It doesn't have to be a 50-50 overhead low. Anything that is a guess is a mix. You can technically even call mids versus throws mix because you have to guess. Although I wouldn't really call it a mix because you can tech throws, but some people call it a mix, so it's up to you. I respect both opinions. Bootcamp and sleep, that's the low. It's a low starter of 18 frames, so slow. The range is not very good. -9, not a good stagger. Back 3, 2. If you do 1 plus 3, -16. So you only want to do this on hit confirms. On confirms, right? So you see, okay, it's time to grab, then boom. Can you even special cancel? I don't think you can special cancel it, so you have to... Man, this character is really not that good. He has a lot of flaws. Like, other than his 4-3 and his 4-2, this is not a good character, honestly. Which is why when you play against Jax, they only use these attacks, right? That's all he has. Okay, so that covers the normals. Okay, now we'll start looking at other variations. The slap. So the slap is a restand, plus 14. And let's see if it... Yeah, okay. We'll test if it gels properly. So we're going to put the opponent on duck. And I'm going to slap. Whoops, it's a high. So what if we... Okay, we're going to have to do it like this. If he has time to duck... Okay, he doesn't have time to duck. This means that this gels. So the slap gels into 4-2. What's the hit advantage again? 14, okay, that's why it gels. There you go. Does it gel into 4-1? 4-3, I mean? No, not enough reach. What about sending 1? Probably gels into 4-4. Yeah. Okay, so that's the slap. First of all, it's unsafe on block. It's unsafe. Even if you're fully, like, this is 50% heated up. Let's go to 100. Set 100. It's always the same. It's always -10 on block, and you're close. So you are going to get punished with this. So don't slap on block. You want to slap on hit. And the purpose is to restand. Slap. Right? Slap. Slap. Well, don't do that. That's not hit confirm, but like slap. And then you stagger. Keep going with your pressure. Is there a flawless block gap? I don't think there is. There's no flawless block gap, so technically you could... I mean, like I showed you guys earlier, you should use back forward 2 to try to prevent people from flawless blocking you, or you simply have to stagger it and then grab. But you could also always do slap on hard reads that they're gonna flawless block you, and you'd get a restand. It would hit them. But just careful, it's unsafe, like I said. Okay? Just know that. Yeah, that's an option. I'm gonna put this guy on stance hold. And then when you have this ability here and the command grab, that's when the standing 2-2 starts to be useful. Like I just said in terms of normals at the start of the video that 2-2 wasn't very good because it's a high, it's 11 frames. But when you have that ability, then it becomes good. And this is all a dial-in, right? That's a dial-in, that's a dial-in, and that's a dial-in. So meaning that you can't do 2-2-1, nothing comes out. You have to do 2-2-1-1. And then you can't do 2-2-1-1-2. Nothing comes out, right? So you get it. You have to enter the whole sequence every time. And here's what it is. So you have to count in your head. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1. Like 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Now careful. This is duckable. The high is duckable. So let's I want to see if it's duckable on stance hold. No, but if they let go of block, it is duckable. But the mind game then is you do 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, and then if they duck it, it's going to be an overhead. But the overhead is unsafe, -11. So if you think that they will stand because they want to punish the overhead, you do 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, 1. No, I didn't do it properly. 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, 1. If they stood, you'd get 4. Oh, maybe you have to be a little bit quicker. It whiffs. Disappointing. Yeah, you have to take a little bit of a step. 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, 1. Step in to reinforce your plus frames. Okay, so that's the application of that ability. What about the slop and the grab? Alright, the command grab. It ticks from this one and this one. It ticks from the 3rd hit here and from the 5th hit, I believe. So 2-2, 1-1. Let's do it. 2-2, 1-1. 3rd hit, boom. After the 3rd hit, so I guess on the 4th is when it actually does it. So after the 3rd, you do it. 2-2, 1-1, 3. Here we go, boom. Okay, let's look at the other one. Instead of the final hit, you get a grab. So then on the last hit, instead of a overhead or a high, so on the 5th hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On this. So after the 5th hit, so on the 6th is when you command grab. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here you go, I grab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grab. So when you count 5, then you go for the grab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grab. Same thing for this one. 1, 2, 3, grab. Right? So on the 3rd, after the 3rd hit, you grab, so that it comes out on the 4th. And the other one is after the 5th hit, you grab, so it comes out on the 6th grab. On the 6th hit, I guess you can say. Let me show you a little secret, okay? Command grabs, to test if command grabs are real, you have to make the opponent let go of block. Your AI, put the AI on all. If the AI is on all and you tick and it actually works, it means that it's a real tick throw. If it doesn't, it's not real. So for example, see? So we know that the 3rd one is real. Let's talk about the 5th one. You see that? It whiffs because it's not real. It's only real if your opponent keeps blocking. In a real match, this doesn't matter because something is coming. It's either an overhead or a high. So the opponent is going to be blocking. Like even if they block low, if they stance hold low, 1, 2, because they were stance holding, they got grabbed. But just know that that's a thing. It's not real. So that's the application of this ability and the command grab. So yeah, the quad grab goes well with this ability simply because it's it ticks. You can have lethal clap on its own as an additional 3rd. Like I'm gonna change. This is not a variation that is optimal. I'm gonna change it after. What's interesting about lethal clap is that you amplify by pressing 1 again. So if I'm heated up, yeah, you just do it. I just slap. Okay. If I do the move and press 1 again on the slap, something else happens. Now, this is not particularly useful in the middle because I can't move. I can't do anything anyways. He's just flying away. That's not what I want. Defeats the purpose of it, right? You want restands. And that's the entire purpose of the slap, is to restand. But in the corner, there are 2 applications. The one in 50% or higher, he gets up from the ground. Like he's launched a little bit. So you can combo from that, or you could do okay, so you can combo from that. You can do other things. Like these are not optimal combos, obviously. You can do something else if you have this, which complements it to a certain extent. In the corner. Complements it in the corner if you want to combo. Not necessary to have that to combo, but it's just another damage route, combo route. It's a little bit tight though. Like I wouldn't recommend this unless you're a Jax main. It's too easy to drop. Okay, but if I charge it up to 100, Then he's launched all the way high up in the air, and that opens up new combo routes. Anyway, so that's even less damage than the short launch. But I'm not a Jaxbang, this is not a combo guide, so you have to figure out the combo yourself. Just know that this launches in a higher position. So the slap for restands and for a free no bar launcher in the corner. Alright, so ground shatter. Isn't that cool? So look at how interesting this is. Okay, so it's a directable like glow launcher. It's blockable though. So now you're wondering, why would I equip an ability when I already have down 4 as a regular special? That's a low anyways. You don't have to direct it. It's a low on the entire screen. That's a good question, and especially since they can block it, right? The reason why you want to equip this is because on Amplify, it's unblockable. So what they have to do, they have to keep jumping to escape this, even though they could simply block it, because even like it's a low, the normal they can block it, right? Because they don't know if it's going to be an amped or not. So it disrupts their flow by having to constantly jump when they see you trying to do something, especially if you do it like from here. So that's why this is a good move on app. Without app, it's not very good. Like it launches, but doesn't combo into your moves. See? -7 at least, but what's the cancel advantage on this one? 30. If 30 cancel advantage, it still doesn't combo. It's because it's 35, so there's a 5 frame gap. It's not gonna combo, but sure, it's just a disruptor. That's how I interpret that one. If you have a different interpretation, let me know. This is the last move we're looking at. I know there are a couple others, like buckshot and stuff. I don't want to talk about them because I don't think they're very useful. And just to clarify, so you don't need 100% to actually be able to launch. You need at least 90%, so let's calculate. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. See how it launched full screen? Not full screen, it launched high. So it takes 90% to launch high, not 100. Quick clarification. You can launch from mid-screen as well and catch them with forward 4. There might be other applications like other combo routes, I'm not sure. But know that you can launch. Duck and weave. Okay, let's talk about that one. So that one replaces normal back forward 2. It's safe. It's a mid. It's safe-ish. I mean, 24 stop and then 26. It's interruptible. So if someone does that, that's not real, I don't think. Let's try it. It's not real. Has to be a read though. It says stance. There are applications. You can amp it to launch on hit confirms. If you equip ripped as well, the other launcher, you can cancel the stance into rip by simply, you have to hold the stance with 2, you hold 2, and then you press B while holding 2 at the same time. So I'm not letting go of 2, and I press B while my thumb is still on 2. I press 4, I mean. So don't forget, you have to hold 2 to stay in the stance before you do anything, right? So let's cancel it. So you hold 2, down 2 or down twice. It cancels the stance. So you're here, they think you're going to go for the overhead. You cancel the stance and you, oh my god, you don't grab them apparently. Then you grab, you can hold it and then release when you think they're going to try to interrupt. You have to let go. If you're going to amp it, you can't hold 2 and press amp, nothing happens. Look at on the left. And nothing happens until you release block. So you have to press as soon as you release 2. You press the amp button as soon as you release 2. Letting go of 1, pressing on the other one. So keep that in mind. Is it safe? Not safe. When you have rip, there's no real reason why you would want to simply amplify the duck and weave, and I'll show you. But there's a mix up here, right? The mix is either the low or the overhead. It should be reactable. It's not an unfair mix because this is 12, it's unsafe. You see how he, like the big swing that he does, that's 29 frames. It is reactable, but it's safe. I think it's interruptible as well. It's not just blockable. if you know that he's gonna do that on raid, so let's try it. Say he does this, you know he's going for the overhead, that's a raid. Whoa. Whoa. Oh! Okay. Yeah. Even before, like, you can always interrupt the stance, but I react to the overhead, you can interrupt the overhead as well. It's so slow, there's such a huge gap in there. So that's it. That's the mix. It's very unsafe, very unreal. It's not very real. Keep that in mind, guys. But that's the option. Guys, I think that's it for me and for Jax. We've gone through a lot of moves. There's still a couple moves I didn't show you, but I think this is good enough. All the things I've showed you are viable and online. Maybe this stance is not as viable, but it's not bad. Like Sonic Fox has used it before. I think if we're gonna talk about the best variations, it's either my command grab or my block raw variation. So if we look at, which one do I have right now? I have command grabbed. Yeah, so pairing the command grab with the enhance 2211 string, that's pretty good because it ticks from that. So command grab with that, and I use the enhance 421 and 4331 just because it makes them more hesitant to interrupt. So that's one variation. Second variation is just again the enhance 421. I think it's like expert grappler or something like that, the ability is called. And then I have ripped and burning hammer. No command grab this one. You could definitely just remove burning hammer and put a command grab, that's completely fine. Or just even remove ripped and keep this one as your damagers on hit confirms, but ripped just obviously gets more damage. And then put the command grab here, it's up to you. I like this one here because I can launch and then I can go for high damaging with burning hammer, right? If you remember, I can do something like this. It's super easy, like I didn't even forward dash. It's that easy. It's so easy, and that damage is absolutely insane for how easy this move is. Folks, look at this fatal blow damage. 475. For like a four move combo plus fatal blow. Crazy. And what I really like about Burning Hammer, just the damage is completely out of this world, but it's also because you can simply do forward 4 into it. Like, not raw, but like in combos. I think it's becoming like my favorite ability. Not only does it look super cool, but it's so easy. Like, even like, and my philosophy, as you guys know, as I said, is just keep it easy. As easy as possible. Easy and don't drop. Go for consistent combos that do less damage. Even with my mains, I don't go for optimals. But just get those consistently. So, like, even if we look at the down to crushing blow, look at this damage. It's super easy for such sweet damage. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe.